contact me through the website, okay, and which is cool, man. I really, I'm really cool with that. You guys want to reach out to me, and you just go on the contact page, monroevacuums.com, and you send me a message, say, hey Wayne, I'm having a tough time with this particular thing. And if sometimes I can walk you through it, okay, one, two, three little tips, text it out. I can on the phone, I walk people through stuff. But sometimes actually producing a video actually help more people. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. And I've covered this unit before, but you know what, man? There's always a better way. There's always another way. There's always something that you missed. There's always something. There's always something. You got it? So that's kind of how I looked at it. So I want to give big ups to the gentleman that contacted me because it's cool that you reach out, and I'm gonna send him this link to this video so at least he can get something from it. So yes, this is for Owen. I'm gonna actually tell Owen that I'm doing a live right now covering the video. Live right now covering a few tips on the Pro Heat 2X. Okay, and let me typos like crazy. The computer don't recognize Pro Heat. Okay, and I gotta capitalize my I when I'm saying I, you know. All right. All right, here we go. Let me send it off, and let me see if I can send the link also, if it'll allow me to do that real quick. Can I share this? Share link. No. Let me go back one. I'm gonna get right on it, guys. Trust me, you'll be there, right there with me. Okay. All right. And just allow me to share this one. Get a shareable link, and I can send it. Bam, done. I'm getting better at this. Okay, so let me move all this stuff out the way. Okay, so let me show. I have two cameras going right now, guys. Well, actually, more like three. Two streamings, and one would allow you to see the overhead cam. I'll do that a little bit later on. The moment I put this vacuum up here, if you actually want to, you can go right into my page, and you can see. It looks the screen, what do you call it? The thumbnail is the same just about, except the one where the overhead cam have like a little monster guy come like breaking through the camera. So you can just hit on that one real quick, okay? And you can see the overhead stuff if the vertical doesn't work for you, okay? All right, and let me get everyone up to speed. So I'm gonna, man, listen, by the time I get really good at this, it's gonna be a thing, okay? All right, I'm determined. I'm like that. So let me do this here real quick. If you can bear with me, I'm gonna share a screen with the other cam, and what I do, I have an iPad here, so the vertical guys can see it also. Okay, so let me share this over. Okay, so this is what the inside of a Bissell 2X look like. Now that what do you call it? That heater that's kind of standing on its side, that's the heater, okay? And now that heater, if you look at it closely, you'll see that there's a lot of like white gummy things inside that heater, okay? That's most of the time, guys, that's where the trouble starts, okay? That's where the trouble starts when messing with a Bissell 2X. The trouble starts in that heater, okay? Because this is what happens, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you what I did to this machine here to make sure that I don't have this trouble. I'm gonna share something with you guys that I did, and some people saw this already, and some haven't, okay? If you're brand new, all right? Hey, Angelina, how are you? Good to have you here today. Awesome. Okay, so if you don't have uh, I got engineer, I lost my train of thought, you know. So let me catch myself. I'm good. I'm glad you're good. so so let me do this. Let me move all my keyboards out the way and all this other stuff. All right. Let me get my gloves on. All right. My venom gloves, which is obviously in the description. So if you're not, if you, I think I don't know. I don't think I have it in the vertical, but I might just end up having to put it there. All right. Let me show you what the deal is. Okay, so I just showed you the screen, okay, where the Bissell 2X. I'm gonna show you another picture. All right. Now, I'm gonna hope that the rest of the folks can see this one, but I'm gonna show it to the vertical, and maybe I can switch to the overhead cam for everyone else. I want to show you a picture of what it looks like inside of the. Let me see if I can switch it over. I know I can. I know I can. Okay, so let me see. How would this work? I'm gonna show it to these guys first. All right, if you look at this here, okay, this is what the inside of that heater looks like when it gets gummed up. Okay, you see that? It looks. So imagine now those little ports where the water comes in and out of, those ports at the bottom, the ports here. Okay, those ports get gummed up with all this gook, all this soap scum and stuff like that. That's why I said the problem starts in the heater, because now the water comes in and it starts to move this stuff through. Look how thick one of these are. Look at this. Look how thick this one right here. Let me see. You see that right? You see that one right there? Okay, and when the cover is on it, see this one right there? When the cover is on it, there's a cover, a metal lid, and that stuff's not moving. The water just goes and sits there. The water just sits there, and it's not moving through so a lot of the times when you don't have a spray, when you have a spray problem, and then if the water did catch it, right? If the water did catch it, what happens is, and if it goes through the tubing, it gets stuck in either the solenoid, okay, or it gets stuck at the jets in the very front that shoots the water out. Because those jets, it's like a pinhole. I mean, tiny. Now, this is what I've done in the past. If you have one of these machines and you really want to hack it, okay, you get, let me reach over. You get one of these little drill bits right here, okay? And you just kind of open up that hole just a little bit wider, okay? That's one way, because that gunk, if you use the heater, if you use it, and you turn your machine off, and you have solution, let's say you never rinsed it, because it's a good idea if you're gonna use the heater, rinse it, maybe throw some vinegar in it or something, and let it rinse all that solution out of your system, okay? Because if you leave it, the heat from the heater is still hot for at least another 10, 20, 30 minutes, okay? And then it bakes. It bakes in there. Hey, William. Okay, I came at the wrong time. It's all right, okay? It bakes, and then it gets hard, and that's that picture you just saw. Okay, think about just think about soap scum that you have to clean it out of your wherever soap scum build up, you have to clean it out. That's what's happening, and there's no cleaning out the soap scum inside the system. Now you can use vinegar and add some vinegar to your water and just flush it. Just flush it. That's if you're going to use the heater. Okay, if you're not going to use the heater, I still say flush it anyway, because when you stop using the machine, the water settles. And the water moves, but the soapy stuff kind of stays behind the residue. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you what I did. I bypassed the heater. Okay. I bypassed the heater, and it worked. Okay. Because if you really think about the Bissell, the new Revolutions don't have a heater coil. They don't use it. They don't use a solenoid. Okay. Let me show you the picture one more time for the guys who missed the picture, and I'm about to put the machine on the bench. Let me show you. Okay. With my furnace. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. But for those, let me see. Can I make this picture a little? Let me see if I can make this picture a little bit bigger, so you can see it closer. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna move it over now. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys here on the vertical. I'm gonna give you a look at this again, and I'm gonna tell you what exactly was going on here. Okay. Now watch this. Okay. Watch this here. Okay, so you see this here? You see this section? Okay? There's a solenoid right here. Right here. Okay? And when that gunk comes out of the solenoid, it hits that T. And it goes to the left and it goes to the right. And when that gunk goes to the right, it messes up this system right here. Okay? Destroys it. Okay? And that for you guys, that's that blue thing at the top. That solenoid right there. So, this is what I did. Okay, let me go get my stuff. Let me move everything out the way and show you. Okay, hey, listen, everybody, thanks for coming in. William, okay, Angelina, I appreciate you guys, all right? And everyone else who is hanging out and just watching. And, you know, you just want to say hi from afar. I'm good with that. You can say hi with a like. How's that? Okay? Now, watch. Now, this is a... Damn, I just destroyed this shit. All right, let me switch over the other overhead. Now, for the guys who want to see the overhead version of this, like I said, you can go to my channel, and there's another video with the same thumbnail, but it has a green creature on it. That's my little drawing of my primal creature with a cigar in his mouth. I'm sorry, guys, I'm moving the camera. Give me a second, and I'm gonna show you what I did. Just hang in there for the ride. Okay. Now, this is what I did to this bad boy. Okay? All right. I need to set up where it doesn't fall. It's going to end up just tipping over on me. Hold on. I got to put something to catch it. I hope this works. Okay, here we go. So you take off your tank, right? Remove all your screws and all that good stuff. So let's get this stuff out the way. And don't be afraid of it, okay? Don't be afraid of this system. It's just screws. But the moment you open it, it will kind of give you a little bit of a uncertainty about your abilities, okay? But that's life, man. That's what we live for, you know? You get too comfortable, and then all of a sudden there's no challenge. It takes all of the lust out of it. So let's dive in, okay? All right, I'm gonna take the screws out. Let me see who's out there. Who's out there? Hey, William. All right, let me see. They put oil in, and all the gunk went into it, screwed all that. Yeah, haven't been with the heat for at least 2 years. Oh, wow, you're talking about the furnace. Aye, yeah, that'll do it, man. That'll do it. Hey, do you know what just went out? I don't know. Man. You know what? Sometimes you can call things coincidence. You can call them providence. I'm always looking for the good and even the stupidest situations. My heater just went out, man. My neighbor runs a shop, and I took it to him, and it turns out my compressor froze up. So I'm waiting for the compressor to come in, but I got to keep driving. So I was like, listen, man, I'm not going to leave this here. Let's get it in. He said, I could just order it. He said, he said, order it online. You get a better deal. I love people like that, you know, because that's how I treat you guys. You know, if I can give you a better deal on it, he said, yeah, don't go to advance order. Just order it online. You get a better deal. I was like, all right, I'll do that. So I'll be dropping my car off, I think tomorrow, and I'll get my thing. But man, you get to appreciate your AC when that damn... Just like your furnace, you appreciate all that stuff when it goes out. It's very easy to take things for granted. I try to teach my son that. I was like, son, listen, man, all the lessons you learn, we're gonna learn the same. We're learning the same stuff. It's just that we've taken so much punishment that we try to we try to help you avoid some of the damage. But if that punishment is what made us tough and resilient, if we help our kids avoid that type of stuff, would they become soft and and they can't handle setbacks? You know what I mean? That's a little tricky. I'm taking all these screws out, guys. I want to show you what happens. Okay, now this, let me make sure I'm right. This particular one don't have what the gentleman is dealing with. He has one of the spindles, the airflow indicator that lets you know water is coming. But I'm gonna still be able to kind of walk you through this, even though this is slightly different, because this one just have the turning knobs up top, but the other ones have that little circle, so when the water's flowing, you can tell the water is coming through. The same thing as the Big Green machine and the Bissell Pro Heat, the first ones. They have that little spinny thing to let you know the water is doing its job, right? It's moving. So what he was telling me is that his water is not moving, okay? So if that's the case, I'm telling you what's happening is the first step, okay? You want to check to see if your pump is pumping and if your heater is clear. So what you do is you check the hose, okay? You check the hose, okay? If the hose is let me just see if I can transfer over. If the hose is spraying, okay, like because we're used to using the floor, we're just shampooing the carpet, right? Okay, and then all of a sudden it stops spraying, and you're wondering, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? So now you say, all right, let me hook up my hose. This is for any shampooer. Okay, think about it. Let me hook up my hose, and let me see if the hose sprays. Now, if the hose sprays, that means something is working. And right, something is working. In this case, this machine, the pump is pumping. If the pump is pumping, the pump is not the problem. You see how you can eliminate that and kind of give yourself a little bit of calm, right? So the pump is pumping. Well, fantastic. So the pump is not the problem. Okay. So what's next? Let me see if I can tear this down some so you guys can kind of see more of my machine and what I'm working with. Okay. So the pump is pumping, the pump is not the problem. All right, so now the next thing is if when I try to spray the floor is not spraying, then I know that I'm working right here in this little section right here. Okay, let me kind of move this over here. Okay, so if the hose is spraying, but the floor isn't, my problem is right here. This little section right here, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. Okay. Now, if your hose doesn't spray and your floor is not spraying, then I would tell you to first check the heater if you have one of these machines here. Because now your heater, the water goes through the heater. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's going to look a little bit crazy and complicated, but just trust me, you'll be fine, okay? And what you do is you write down or take a picture of where everything goes. Like in this particular case, right? In this case, let me tilt it. Let me tilt it a little bit. Okay, it's gonna fall apart on me, but it's okay. I can handle it. All right. In this case, it's not that complicated. Think about it. The suction. This is part of the suction port, the suction duct. This little thing right here. Okay, that means when you put your tank on it. I just dropped my little controller. When you put your tank on it, okay, it's going to be sucking through here. And this is the motor chamber, and it's going to come up through this tube. So when I put my tank is connecting to this section right here. Okay, so now these tubing, there are things that the machine is using some of the suction to do some work. One of the suction is connected to the top of the pump. The lower suction is connected to the top of the pump. Okay, the top part of the pump, the top part of this duct is taking air away from the pump. It's kind of because it gets hot. It's spinning. The pump is electric, So it's spinning. So this is pulling air away from the pump so it doesn't overheat. Okay? So the top part of this goes, my bad. The bottom, I'm screwing things up. The bottom part goes to the top of the pump, and the top of the pump goes to taking away the heat from the motor, because the bottom part is getting, I guess this would be getting a concentrated suction, more concentrated, I guess, and you need that to activate the pump to pull water in. All right, so I'm gonna separate this top, okay, so it's out of my way, right? Separate the top. You can even just separate this too, man. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's get this out the way, okay? So we already know where these things go. This little one here goes to the top. Now I'm gonna lift this up. Let me take off the front of my. I'm gonna take off the front of my stuff here. I can't see any comments yet. Yeah, William. All right. Okay, man. Listen, man. I think I got the coolest screw. I have to start a Discord or something so you guys can kind of connect with repair tips and tips and tricks and stuff like that can help each other. All right. And I'm gonna look into that and see what I can do. I think one of the guys that watch me in the mornings, he suggested it. And I never thought about a Discord. So it's cool. All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at the mess. Okay, so this is everything. Oh my God, let me take this off, guys. I'm gonna take this all the way off. Okay, forget it. I don't want you guys to be thing. Okay, so again, what you do, you take pictures so you can see where everything goes. All right. Just to kind of give you, if you have one of these, the left tubing, it goes towards the this here to the auto receiver, and the right tubing goes to the back of the pump. So that's how you kind of remember things if you want. Okay, and you can just write it down. So or take a picture. You don't want to forget. All right. So let me remove all this stuff so I can have the room to lift this off. Okay. Now this is off. All right. Okay. So this is the key, guys. This is what I did, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. First, I replaced the solenoid. I end up ripping my gloves, guys. And these gloves are hard to rip, but I think I nicked it on one of these tags here. They're not indestructible, but they're just better than the other gloves. All right, I'll take one off, and I have another one right here. So let me walk you through this. Let me take my time and not rush it, and see if I can do it nice. Now, so what I was saying about these tips, the jets, is if you notice these are always getting clogged, okay, just drill a hole in the damn thing. Okay, it's not like in stone where it has to be a certain thing. It sure helps with the spraying, but I prefer not to get clogged. How's that? So I would use this, and I would just drill a hole right in here. That's it. And open it up a little bit so I can get less of those stuff crammed up in there. Simple solution, but sometimes we don't think about it. Okay. All right. Next up. So this is the jets in the front. All right. Now, before the water gets to the jet, because the water comes out of the auto receiver, okay, and it goes, okay, it goes into that little component, but it's flowing down the back of the pump. It's flowing down the back of the pump. The suction is on the top of the pump that's kind of giving the pump that suction, that pull the water, pull the water, pull the water, pull the water, right? So now the water now flows in from your tank down to the back, and it shoots out the front. So now normally what it would do, it will go through the heater, okay? It'll go through the heater, go through that corridor, and come out the heater, and then hit this T-shape right here, okay? Normally, that's what it would do. It will come out of the pump, right? Go to the heater, go through this corridor, okay? And then come out and hits this T-shape. Some of it goes up to the hose, waiting for you to spray, and some of it just goes straight to the floor, and this solenoid zings it. You see, it's hooked up to this little electricity right here. So this is spinning on the inside, kind of giving it a zing. Go to the front. Okay? Now, if this is working, but this is clogged, you're not going to get any spray. That's why I tell you to open this with a screw. With a drill, I'm sorry. Okay? Is that a Bissell? Yes, it's a Bissell shampoo. Berkshire. Berkshire! Yeah, remind me of Berkshire Hathaway. Okay? So that's what happens, okay? It comes out the pump. I know I'm going over this over and over again, but I'll be honest with you, it's best to, repetition's the mother of learning, right? Okay, so, ow. Okay, I'm just trying to hold this up. Let me take this apart. Let me take the screws out of this bad boy, and I want to show you what's on the inside. And then I'm going to show you what I did. Some of you already figured it out already, because you're smart, because the smartest people watch my show, because you're curious, and you want to fix it yourself, and knowledge is power. Is that cool? You like that? Oh, man. All right, here we go. Watch this. Watch this, all right? I'm going to show you what's on the inside of this thing. And let's see. Get one more screw. I hope you guys had a great day. I had an interesting day. I just dropped my son off at track. I met his coach. Not track, cross country. And my son went to cross country at one of the competing schools. So she was like, "Oh yeah, I know your son, and so it was pretty cool, man. I had an interesting evening." All right, so here's a look at it from the inside. This is what the corridor. When I said it goes through the corridor, it goes through this, and this, and this, and this. Now you see how clean, but this is not 100% clean, but you see how clean this one is? Okay, this was really dirty and I cleaned it out. But the heater was still a problem, and guess what? The heaters are not being sold anymore. Okay, you have a Hoover Power Scrub 50 and the brushes don't spin when the machine is locked and not reclined. Is that intentional? Is there something wrong? No. Wait, time out. Yes, that's intentional. The Hoover Power Scrub, I have videos on my site. If you go to, I'm sorry guys, I'm answering a question here. If you go to my Hoover Tips playlist in my page, okay, you're gonna notice that I have a couple of Power Scrub videos breaking down the Power Scrub, okay, and there's something in the front of, and I'm gonna get back to this, guys. There's something in the Power Scrub called the turbine assembly, okay? And what happens is the water is coming down. The Power Scrub is by gravity, okay? And the water will hit the quick connect on the side where you hook up your hose, and then another water is waiting for you to hit the trigger, the other tubing, and then the water goes down to the turbine assembly. Now, here's how the turbine assembly works. When the turbine assembly is in the upright position, there's a rod that pushes it to close the suction. There's a filter in the very front, in a red frame, a tiny little filter about this big. Okay, you want to make sure that's clean of debris. And when you put it in the upright position, the act of putting it in the upright position does this. There's a rod here, and it's like this, and the upright pushes it forward the moment you put it in the upright position. The rod sits like this, and it pushes it forward. And when it pushes it forward, it closes the gate to the turbine that's receiving air from your motor is pulling in air in that little section right there, okay? And what that air does is turn a gear in the turbine that turns the brush. So when the air is closed, the brush shuts off, okay? And the reason they do that is so when you're using it in the upright position and you're hooking up your hose, because you're not gonna have it reclined while you're using a hose to clean your chair. You're gonna have it upright, hook up your hose, and then turn your back or whatever, or maybe right there, and you're gonna clean your chair. And what they don't want is for it to be running constantly, burning out your carpet, okay, while you're cleaning your upholsteries or your car seat or whatever the case is. So it's supposed to shut off when it's standing upright. The brush will cut off, Okay, so that's the idea. All right. Bissell uses something different to handle that situation. Bissell would use a Bissell uses this. Let me shift this screen here on this side, and I'm gonna show everybody what Bissell used to shut off the brush. I know we're kind of off that topic slightly, but I'm gonna make my way back. Bissell uses this. Oh God, here. There's a micro switch in the back, right here. Okay, and for the guys up top, the micro switch is sitting. The micro switch is sitting. Right there. See those two little prongs back here? Okay, and for you guys, those two prongs back here. Okay, that's a micro switch that the moment you put it in the upright position, it hits the switch and it shuts off the motor that runs this brush over here. So that's the idea. That's the purpose of that. Okay. The Bissell 2X don't seem to have that. It don't seem to have it. Oh my God, I think I know what that thing is for on the rod on the side. I had a video earlier today on the Bissell Revolution. And there were two rods on the side that were driving me crazy. They didn't seem to do anything. And if anyone is listening who saw this video this morning, I was asking people to tell me what you saw, okay? Because I didn't see the purpose of that. I was like, man, this thing don't move nothing. When I put it in the upright position, nothing moves. And I'm thinking it's designed to lift the brush off the floor when it's in the upright position so it's not touching the carpet and burning it, spinning in place. Because the brush doesn't stop. On the Bissell Revolution Plus, Pet Pro Plus, and the Bissell Revolution 2X, the brush doesn't turn off, even if you put it in the upright position, okay? But I'm thinking those two rods on the side, man, okay, fantastic. It's gotta be what they're used for. They just don't seem to be touching anything. I put them on, I tried doing the upright, and I'm looking to see, what does it do? It's not doing nothing. I don't see nothing happening. I'm like, you guys just put two plastic rods in here, and they ain't doing shit. Okay? And anyway, I just, all right, fantastic. That just hit me. There's got to be, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm thinking that's the only other reason why you even have those two rods on the side. It's to lift the brush off the floor. So when it's in the upright position, it's not touching the carpet. Now I got to test and see if they're actually doing the job that they're advertising. Let's see. Okay? All right. Great. I keep moving. I'm almost done, but I'm going to let you know what I did. So here's what I did, guys. Okay, here's what I did. I didn't unhook any wiring or nothing. I just left all the wiring hooked up. I was like, whatever. I'm not going to unhook it, because if I unhook it, then I have to cap them all. And I didn't want to do none of that stuff. What I did is I just disconnect the hose, the water coming from the pump, and I connected it right to the T. I bypassed the heater altogether. Okay? I bypassed the heater. The water is coming out the pump and is going straight to the T, because number one, this is not being sold. So if your heater is malfunctioning and you have one of these, and this is the cause of your problem, think about it for a second. The only thing you're working with here on a Bissell Pro Heat 2X is your tank. So you check this to make sure that your water is coming out. So you put water in it, you press the trigger, right? Guys in the main channel, just take a look. A safety mechanism, yes. Yes, Berkshire, it's a safety mechanism for that. But it's doing its job. Yes, sir. But so once you put your finger in it and you know this worked, then you know the tank is good. Okay, so now the tank is not a problem. Move the tank out the way, right? What's next? Next is the water is collected in the auto receiver. All right? What's next? The water now goes from the auto receiver to the back of the pump. And then the water tries to come out of the pump and goes through the heater. So what I do is I try to run the machine first with some water. Okay, I want to know where the water is going. So if I open this thing up and water pours out the heater, then the pump is working. You see what I'm saying? So I'm eliminating things like I'm just chopping them down, right? So the pump is working, all right, because the pump pulled the water. Okay, so the water's getting stuck in the heater. But here's the problem. Sometimes you need to replace the heater and the solenoid. In this case, we can't buy the heater, but I can still buy the solenoid. So what I did is I replaced the solenoid. If you notice, I have the black one. All right, and these are the newer versions. So I replaced this. Okay, so this guy is not clogged up or nothing, because you're not going to get inside this and make it work again. So don't even try to fix the solenoid. Just buy another one. They're not expensive. So you get the solenoid. So now the solenoid is the last station before it hits the front. The solenoid is the last guy before it hits the front. So now if my pump is working, my heater is the problem, I'm gonna remove the heater from the equation, and my water is gonna go from the pump to here, and it's gonna shoot up that way, and then it's gonna also shoot up this way. And I got a brand new solenoid. There's no clog. That mean, and I make sure these tips are unclogged. Man, I'm good to go. I'm good. Hey, Sydney, what's up, homie? Dude, I hadn't seen you in weeks, bro. What you been doing? All right, what's happening on this side? Would you rather let arms grow, Carlos? Okay. Wow, all right. I got some funny people here. Let me share it with everybody. Would you rather let an arm grow or a knee? Ah, that's clever. But no, you didn't get me. But guess what? I ain't afraid to say Negro, grow. That's a word, man. I'm not one of those guys. I don't play. You can't break me with names, bro. I'm built stronger than that. Are you kidding me? But I appreciate the humor. Obviously, it's coming from a good place. But thank you for that. All right. But no, I'm not one of those guys. All right. So that's the key, guys. If you're having problems with this, that's the process of elimination when you're working with these little machines. The wiring and all this shit can get you all caught up. Like if it's a wiring issue, let's say your motor is not turning, then yeah, we need to figure out if we need to replace the motor or not, right? If it's a wire. But most shampoo issues, honestly, is either the brush is not turning, so you may need to change a belt, or you may need to change a brush, right? Or it's not spraying. So you need to make sure that, hey, is it my tank? Is it my pump? Do I even have a pump? Do I have a solenoid? Or is it just gravity? Once you establish how your machine is set up, then we go through that process of elimination. Okay? And then the other thing is suction. Sometimes shampoos don't have suction, and it could be a filter. Like in this case, I hope I'm done with this. If anyone has any more questions about this particular thing, I'm gonna move on to something else. Yeah, I know. But, hey, look, man. Busy is good, bro. Okay, I just appreciate you stopping by because your attitude is absolutely positive, man. So you need positive people around you. That kind of feedback feeds you. Okay, all right, that's good feedback. All right, okay. So I'm gonna move on to something with this machine here about the filter. Okay, I don't have the Revolution Pet Pro, but filters are notorious, man. Let me show you what people miss all the time. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. If suction is a problem, if anyone has any questions, put it in the comment because I'll be more than happy to answer it. Okay, all right. That's awesome. You guys are funny. Oh my God, that remind me of the knock knock jokes my son would give me. Okay, so this is what I was talking about the it goes from the what do you call it, the auto receiver, and the water goes to the top, to the back of the pump. Okay, and that this goes to the back of the pump. So the pump is pulling this water out so it can shoot it out to the heater. That's how this guy works. Okay, that's how he works. Let me see if I can share the screen. But anyway, so we talked about this enough, right? Let's move on. If you have a question, throw it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer it. All right. Okay, here we go. Last thing. These filters. Every Bissell comes with a filter. Now, in this particular one, the filter is inside the lid. Okay. And then it's clever engineering, though. I'll be honest with you. It's still clever. So this is your floater, and what this floater would do is, as the water rises, right? Let me move this. Let me move this over here. Okay, everybody can see now. As the water rises, the floater comes up, and it does that, right? And the moment the floater does that, guess what it's hitting? It's hitting this door. And the floater comes up and it closes this door. Okay? And then when the door closes, okay, then the suction is shut off. Because now what the floater just told the motor, without AI, right, is this tank is full, and if it gets any more water, can't get those damn words out. If any more water would go in, it's gonna get sucked in. It's gonna get sucked into the motor. So I'm trying to protect the motor. That's what the floater is doing. The floater's job is to protect the motor, and it when the water rises, the floater top rises, and then boom, it closes. And then all of a sudden you hear this like, the motor goes like, and then the motor goes, then it's straining, right? That means it's the suction, the motor. Don't keep running it like that, okay? But keep this guy clean. Take out all the debris out of this. Like, let me show you something. Let me give you an idea. Let me give you just a little sample of what I mean by keeping it clean. I'm gonna use my flathead to get it out. Watch this. You see what can accumulate? Just it starts to accumulate. Eventually, that's gonna cut off all of the suction if it fills up all the way. So now you have no suction. So that's what this controls. Okay, and then sometimes, one last thing. This guy, if you guys have any machines with these kind of, it can happen on the Bissell Revolution, it can happen on a Pro Heat, any one of them. They're held together with heat. Heat is what's fastened these things, not even glue. Heat. I don't know how they do it, but the seam is meld together and it's stuck together, right? And that's how it's held together, and you don't see any residue, you don't see any glue on this because it's heat. Very clever, and it works, okay? But sometimes they come apart. And when they come apart, you may think you still have a regular head, but you're missing one. There's one in the back, there's two of them. One in the back and one in the front. So it's easy to, unless you saw it fall off. I've seen people that didn't even know it fell off, and they still maybe sometimes they lend it to somebody, and they bring it back, and they bring it back without the piece, and you don't know, and it's in the closet. You're like, hey, thanks for lending it to me, and they're gone, and you're using it like a month later, and the damn thing is not, Anyway, most of the machines that come into the shop are like people who, like, they lent their machine out to somebody, and that person bought it back broken. And that's the truth. That's just what happens. And like, man, I lend it to my son, I lend it to my cousin, I lend it to my neighbor, and this is how it is. And there's a few times, man, there's some good people out there, but few times people bring it in and say, listen, my neighbor lent this to me, and it's not working, and I want to fix it before I bring it back to him. Man, are those the kind of neighbors you want? You know, those are the kind of, like, imagine someone borrowing your car, and they wreck you. Well, not wreck it. Let's say they did something to your car, and they're like, damn, man, I gotta fix this car before I give it back to him. You know, it's tough, because if the problem was pre-existing, the guy fixed your, I don't know, they fix your whatever, and you're like, oh man, I had that problem for a month. I didn't even. It's like, dude, thank you. Thanks for fixing it. Now, if that neighbor is a good guy, he'll say, man, look, I'll pay you back, man. Thanks for fixing it. No, it was having a problem. If not, they were like, man, word, you did what? Oh man, well, I'm glad you were man enough to take care of it. Appreciate it. So sometimes good people get the sharp end, unfortunately. But if you surround yourself with good people, then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, how's that? All right, guys, I think I'm wrapping it up for tonight. I hope I covered everything. If I missed something, please tell me before I go. Other than that, you guys have an awesome night. And keep going. Sydney, thanks for hanging out. Berkshire, thanks for hanging out. Angelina, thanks for hanging out. You are awesome. Thanks for subbing, Angelina. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate the support. Okay? And William, you never come at the wrong time, bro. Okay? It's the right time all the time, man. Okay? So I appreciate all you guys. And what's this guy named? Carolus. I don't know. Whatever your name is, keep trying, man. Keep trying, You got a clever mind. Keep trying. All right. All right, guys. See you later. Adios.